Um. Okay. Hey guys, it's Tyler. Come back to you playing Minecraft on the WBFS server. And, I want to talk to you guys a little about something. I was going to do this whole, like, presentation and everything, but, I don't think I'm going to now. I think I might just talk about it. Okay. What I really wanted to talk about, was... Oh, someone harvested that wheat. That's good. I haven't been doing YouTube for that long, but I've known a lot of YouTube's issues and a lot of people who use YouTube and the issues that come along with it. And I've always been interested in issues such as these. I need to fix that. This guy does. Whoever owns this plot. But there's one big issue that always comes up, you know, when dealing with YouTube, and that's it's copyright. Copyright's a big issue on YouTube. Because copyright, we can't when I say we, I mean LPers like me. We can't use popular music in our LPs because they will get a copyright strike against our accounts, and we won't be able to use them. And there's not really a good way to go about licensing popular music for people like us, because and not many people like me do this, but I do it just because I figure if it's available, why not? I commercialize my videos. I put ads on my videos, and sometimes I make money off of them. And I can't do that with copyrighted music. I can't put copyrighted music on and then make money off of it, because I'm not allowed to. Even if it just uses background music or something like that, I can't use it. So I did some research on copyright law, because that's what I do when I don't know about something. I go on Wikipedia and I usually look it up. And I'm building a pool, just so you guys know. I hope you can tell. Yeah, it's wool on the outside. Who cares? Whatever. Fuck it. It's the liner. So I did some research on it, and so let me give you a brief overview of the law, and I'm going to do that right. Or I'm going to give you a brief overview of copyright. I hope you don't mind. If you know, just skip this video if you don't really give a shit. It's fine, but it's something that affects us LPers, and I know a lot of other LPers watch my videos. So I don't know. It's something, you know, it's interesting, and I'll try to make it interesting as much as I can. So I'll be back. Okay. So copyright started with the licensing of the Print Act of 1662. Now what happened was the printing press was invented. Johann Gutenberg. I'm pretty sure that's the guy. Pretty much one of the most important inventions of American or history of all time. It led to an increase in literacy, advance in math and sciences. It's considered probably one of the most important things as ever invented was the printing press. But with the printing press came the folly of what the I don't have stairs for that. But with the printing press came the folly of the fact that someone had to own these books. Someone, wrote it, and they deserved compensation and knowledge, acknowledgement that they wrote the book and that they deserve some credit for it. So, King Charles II, I think, 1662. I don't know if that was during American Revolution or not. I'm not big on that, but so he came up with the act to kind of protect people, and yeah. So let's just skip over to American. We'll just skip over to American acts, and I'll be back with you with that. So the Statute of Anne Law, or Statute of Anne Law, did not apply to the U.S. colonies. What the Statute of Anne Law did was essentially copyright enforcement and regulation in Britain, and but it didn't apply to the U.S. colonies. So let's say that King John Fucker Goat over here, he goes and he creates a book. It wouldn't apply to him in the U.S. if he did it, but in Britain, he would get all his rights and everything, and it would be fine. He wouldn't have to worry about it. So what the U.S. did is said, "Fuck it, we'll make our own." But the colonies at the time were separated, so and had their own governments. So what you had was about 3 or 4 different copyright things come up, and it was each their own little copyright law. So it was very hard to regulate. And that leads us to our next point, getting into the Constitution. Okay, James Madison was the first to propose copyright law. It was the start of the copyright clause in the United States Constitution. Now, what the United States Constitution said, and it was the first, clause. It was one of the first, copyright clause for the U.S. Constitution. Was the here? Let me check real quick. It's the Copyright Act of 1790. Now, what the Copyright Act of 1790 did was it essentially said, now, if you make something, you own it for 14 years. You own the copyright when you register it with us for 14 years. Now, after that 14-year period, you can apply to have a renew for another 14 years. And after that, it would go into public domain. Now, public domain, if you don't know, is where a lot of people like me get music from. It's essentially saying anyone can use it, anyone can make it, anyone can change it, anyone can remix it, blah blah blah. Whatever you want to do with public domain music, you can do. Huh. What was that? Yeah. Oh god. So that leads us into what changed with copyright, because that stayed, that clause, the copyright clause, stayed pretty tight and not really changed that much for a while. So we're gonna get into that. Okay, we're on top of ashes and oh crap. Let me go down and figure out the name, because I'm gonna forget. Mahayu. Ash and Mahayu Castle. They're getting married. Okay. Back to copyright. So, the copyright didn't really change much until, let me get up to the top, until 1831, it extended the copyright to 28 years with a 14-year renewal. Not that bad. But then, in 1909, there was another convention, and they renewed it again. It extended the law to 28 years with a 28-year renew. So you can see it started kind of progressing upwards with renewals. And that kind of was there and whatever. It didn't really matter. It just renewed it. It didn't really change anything. But then here's the big thing. The Bern Convention. Or the Bern, whatever. Okay, what the Bern Convention did was it said, hey, I want to get all the countries in the world together and agree on copyright. Because copyright was from country to country at the time. So that's what it did. And it tried to come up with a common agreement. But that common agreement was not cool for the United States because the United States required you to go to a post office or something along those lines, a copyright office, and register your copyright. And the Bern Convention said, no, we don't need you to do that. So we refused. And because we were one of the biggest countries at the time and we invented a lot of things, they kind of need to hold a new convention. And that leads us to the Universal Copyright Protection Summit. And we then agreed to that. The Universal Copyright Summit pretty much said it was not much different than ours. Besides, it had the life of the original work owner was involved. So, we all agreed to a common thing, and we had to do that, and it's very important. I'm not mad at that part. I'll get to the part why I'm mad later. And next part of the place that we're gonna go visit. Okay, we're out in the desert. Okay, so the next thing was the Copyright Act of 1972. It extended the life of the copyright to 75 years, or the life of the author plus 50 years. Now, we're kind of getting to the territory where it's getting a little extreme. And this is where I'm going to explain why copyright needs to be short. Not James Madison. Cut. It was Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson said that to increase our ability as a nation to increase our arts and sciences, we have to keep a copyright term short. Now, the reason why is because without the ability to allow stuff to go into the public domain, we have a issue with people not that are essentially oh, okay. My game was messing up. I got scared. Essentially, we got people who are using these copyright laws and holding other people back. For example, LPers like me and some of the people watching this. See, we could be advancing our LPs by including some pretty popular music if it went to public domain. If, let's say, for example, Daft Punk only had the original public domain, 14 years plus another 14-year extension, their music would be coming out for us, and we could use it and remix it and remake it all we wanted to relatively soon. And I'm pretty sure everyone would be happy with that. I mean, Daft Punk might not be happy with that because they're losing some art or losing some revenue when we get our hands of it. But when the public gets hold of something and we're able to make it our own, you have a lot more people who are able to change and modify and make better sometimes stuff than other people have made. I mean, every invention has relied on an invention or something previous knowledge before it. So by not having the ability to have the previous stuff available for us to use without fear of being sued, we are limiting our ability as a nation and as a society to change, to better ourselves. And I can't really think of a good example right now because I'm not prepared. I'm kind of just doing this on the fly, and I'm using Wikipedia to help me out. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this. But let's go on to our next point. So yeah. The Copyright Term Extension Act of 1998. It added 95 to 120 years, or the life of the author plus 70 years. So, what that did was essentially just, you have so much time if you create a copyright now that it's almost never going to go. Once you create it, you're going to own that until it goes into public domain, and that's going to be, you're never going to see that. You're going to be dead. So, nothing's going into public domain that you see in your lifetime. No popular music is. And that's a big issue. So, why does this matter? Really, who gives a shit? Well, as I tried to explain earlier, that it stifles creative growth and freedom in America. When you can't get stuff public domain. Public domain gives things new currency. Oh, poor guys. Being trapped down there. It gives things new currency. I mean, the public domain is a place where things get revived and used again. But people don't see it that way. Unfortunately. This is the bridge. This is the bridge everyone talks about. Unfortunately. So, this has been your little lesson in copyright. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the server while I was here. We're on the Mushroom Island now. If you have any questions, I mean, go look it up. It's very interesting to read about. It affects everybody. Definitely LPers. If you've ever wondered why you can't use your copyrighted song, that's the reason. Caves. I'm looking at the caves. Caves. Looking at the ocean floor. Caves. So, I think this is where I'm going to end my video. I had fun. Hope you had fun too. So, see ya.